You know what I'm talking about? It's sitting on the top of my bag. It's the cookbook. Okay, when I start my shows, I thank all the guests for coming, and yes, I do start with the guest, saying thank you to them. My very next thing that I share is, I say, and I have a very heartfelt gift that I would like to give my host tonight for hosting her show, and that is our actual Roundup from the Heart cookbook. This is actually the third one in the series, and the cool thing about these is you guys actually have the opportunity tonight to also purchase this. When you purchase it, $1 of it comes back to Feeding America here in our area, so we're helping to feed families here in our own community. But what I would like you guys to do is, since this is a heartwarming cookbook and she welcomed us into her home tonight, I would like you guys to pass the cookbook around. On the inside cover, and you don't have to write it straight across like you see my info, somewhere on the inside cover, somewhere on the back, I would like you to sign your name and write your favorite quality about our host tonight. Because this is our feel-good cookbook. Every time she goes to grab that cookbook, she is going to think of you. Okay, everybody have a bad day? Anybody have a bad day? Sometimes it's nice to have that positive reinforcement. Okay? So, that's how I start out my show in the aspect of getting the show going. Then the next thing that I do is I explain to my guests what we're going to do tonight. So, I would say tonight, Jackie has chose for us to make the chicken enchilada bake. We're going to actually prepare that in one of our most special products in our catalog. You're going to see me talk about that and share it with you in just a second. And then we're also going to do a fun little appetizing dessert tonight. Okay, we're going to do a banana tart recipe. So, what we're going to do is, we are next going to talk a little bit about, why am I up here? How many of you have ever thought about being a Pampered Chef consultant? Anybody? Okay. Well, let me tell you, I certainly did not the last Pampered Chef show that I hosted. My husband had kind of popped in, watched a little bit of the show, popped back out. The consultant left and my husband looked at me and said, "Why don't you do that? All that lady did is made a recipe." And I said, she cooked though, and she talked in front of people. I went to school for dentistry because I was an introvert. If I can do this, you can do this. Watch what I'm doing tonight and see yourself in my shoes. Also know that tonight, if Jackie decides she wants to become a hostess, she can actually start her own Pampered Chef business for $20 or $40, and all of you have that opportunity as well if maybe the $159 kit or our $80 kit is not quite as feasible as an expense for you. Okay? Last thing I would like to share with you is on your sales receipt. If you'll please pull out your sales receipt. And I do show folders, so it's in the back pocket. I say, if you can please pull out your sales receipt. I would like you to note the pink highlighted area at the bottom right corner of your receipt. You're going to see in that box, it says Roundup from the Heart. Okay? If maybe tonight a cookbook is not something that you want to have in your home, maybe you don't want to purchase it as a Christmas card idea for somebody, because these make great Christmas cards. I also recommend possibly rounding your order up. Because for every $1 that gets donated tonight from Jackie's show, it actually comes back to our Feeding America, Feeding America chapter right here, and also my county. I say in Lancaster County. And the neat thing is if you don't know this, the partnership that Pampered Chef has with Feeding America here is going to feed 8 people. If any of you can think of somebody at your church, maybe at your school, maybe a friend of yours, who might need some food assistance, we can be helping those right here in our own community. So, if you round your order up $5 tonight at minimum, you're going to feed 40 people right here in our community. Wow. Okay, so that's the start of my show. Then I go into doing the demo. All right, so the closing of my show is, I do door price slips, and my door price slips, I hand them out. And I don't call them door price slips on my shows, I actually call them my customer care cards, because I found people completely filled them out when I called them a customer care card and not a prize drawing slip, because all they would write was their name.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, my prize drawing slips are actually my own made-up thing. And I also kind of tweaked one of my directors. Yeah, sure. You want to bring that? And then we'll pass this around too. This actually I took out of my planner because I did bring with me to Sizzle my whole stack of. Oh, I need the call. Work it. Ask Jody. I was doing it yesterday, waiting for her in her hotel room, and she comes out of taking a shower and she goes, I hope you don't mind, but I was standing in there listening to you make your calls. I was getting ready. So, and I do this step by step with my guests. I say, okay, up at the top, if you can please put today's date on there, because I do save these pieces of paper. And our host tonight is actually Jackie, so please write Jackie's name in the host line, and then you'll fill in all of your information. If you actually supply me with your email address, you're going to get on my monthly email newsletter list, and you're going to be kept up to date on all of our great specials we have going on, and sometimes I just do an email special for those that I have email addresses for. Next, you're going to see that I do theme shows. Tonight, Jackie chose to do an enchilada theme show. I can do a theme show for anything, so if any of the options you don't see on your customer care card tonight are not on there, just ask me because I can do it. You're also going to see the next question is, if you're not interested in doing an in-home show, if maybe time is of the essence for you, then we can do an online show, a Facebook show, or we can also do a web show. Then, I also would like to welcome all of you into the opportunity of taking home some of our business opportunity information. I usually give you two things tonight if you do mark about the business. One is our Purple Join Us booklet. Number 2 is our DVD that's going to visit with you a little bit about the business. And the last question asks, if Jackie tonight decided to become a consultant, would you like to help her out and start her business off on a strong start and in her first 30 days do a party? If you'd like to do that, mark yes. Then at the bottom, if you have any products you specifically want to know are on sale, or if you have any comments about tonight, please feel free to write those in there. Again, thank you, Jackie, for hosting your show tonight, and thank you all so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you have any questions, please come over and visit with me. But please come up individually to do your orders so I can check all of you out and help you individually with your orders and give you the customer service that you each deserve individually. And I also prefer debit or credit tonight because it's going to help our show come back in faster. If you're getting these products tonight, don't you think that you want to get them right away? Because that's why you're ordering them. Right? And then that's it. That's my opening and that's my closing. And I'll pass around this prize drawing slip. Yes, I need this back because as you will see, I have notes wrote on it. But 9 times out of 10, I very seldom ever have guests mark at the bottom no about having a show if the host decides to become a consultant. All 18 recruits I joined last year were all hostesses. And it's because I used these and I shared with them, oh, Jackie, do you realize tonight you had 6 people that said they'd host a show with you in your first 30 days? Because I gave them the 30-day deadline. I just didn't say if the host decided tonight to become a consultant. That's what it says on here, but that's not what I verbally told the guests.
Very good, this girl.
Connie, you said something the other day about closing the show that night. Do you close the majority of your shows that night?
I will say 98% of my shows I close the night of the show. Because I live rural, and if I have to wait for checks to get mailed to me, they can take 2 to 3 days. And it's much easier. And 9 times out of 10, I was finding most of my hosts were not collecting orders. And I pre-print labels for my host invites that state the show closes the night of the show.
Where do you put that? Where do you put that on that? Where do you put that label?
It's down in the lower right-hand corner, right under where the host is going to fill in the guest's name and information.
On the
it
planner.
also says in there how to order off my website. Explicit directions, so they don't just go there and order something.
Yeah, that's good. She's very, very good, this lady.
Yeah, and I didn't make up this little template, and honestly, if any of you want the template, I'm more than happy to forward it to you. Just come talk to me when we're done, and I'll just take down your info and I'll email it to you. So.
I just ask you, do you have any tip for booking
show at the show so you're not following them around?
9 times out of 10, I usually try to set the show bookings at the show because I will tell you, I do not have, summer was full testament of that, I do not have the greatest luck trying to get a hold of people. And if you took my calendar right now and you looked in it, you would see over 90% of the bookings that are wrote in there are wrote in pencil because I say when they come up to do their checkout, I say, Jackie, I noticed tonight that you put down that you might be interested in hosting a show. Would you like to pencil in a date? And if you get home and find that one doesn't work, we can always change it because I just erase it and change it in the calendar. Nothing is set in stone yet. And if I don't hear back from you in the next 3 to 4 days, is it okay if I assume that this date is a good go-ahead date? And I gave the host packet to him. And it's completely filled in. I found these great little plastic snapshot folders. And Dollar General has them. The Dollar Tree has them. Yes. I go cheap stuff with my business in the regards of, I want to make money. Okay? I'm not going to spend a ton of money on all these little extra things that really, who cares? And inside of those, in my show bag that I take to my show with me, I have the monthly outside order forms stuck inside of those. So when I put their packet together, I open up the Octobers, and I take out October order forms and stick them inside.
Yay!